All right, today we're going over extreme, or what some people like to call crash dieting for fat loss, and why it's not only effective, it's actually the way to go. Let's get after it. So I'm sure you've heard other fitness YouTubers say, or maybe you were sitting at home in your underwear eating lean pockets and Dr. Oz told you no matter what you do, don't crash diet because you'll blow right back up. And that statement definitely has some merit to it. I think back to my years of working with competitors, figure, fitness, bodybuilding. Every time I would sit down with one of them for the very first time, for the first 30 minutes, I would continually ask them, are you sure you want to do this? Because this is going to completely mess you up. Not physically. Anybody who said that they messed up their thyroid from a hardcore diet is usually full of shit. In reality, what happened is they unleashed their inner fat kid, and they're having a hell of a time shoving that chubby bastard back into Pandora's box. I'm talking mentally, because you're going to get to the leanest point you've ever been in your entire life. You're walking around on stage in basically dental floss, and they're going to take pictures of you for you to take home to remind yourself that you'll never look like that again. Now you got a constant reminder on your fridge that you're a fat mess and any progress you make is insignificant. But here's the truth. You can't get extraordinary results by putting in an ordinary amount of effort. You got to tread into the obsessive and slightly unhealthy waters if you want to make a change that people can't help but to notice. Unless your starting point is you're a contestant on that show, My 600-Pound Life, then yeah, you're going to make progress by simply getting your enabling mom to stop feeding you cheeseburgers all day. Because you know what happens when you go on a normal diet with just a slight deficit? Practically nothing, because you're going to chip away at that deficit little by little with random calories that come throughout your day, or you're going to cheat so much that that deficit's going to disappear. And you've seen this a lot throughout the gym. I mean, look around at the people that basically look like they've made no progress year in and year out. I mean, if you squint hard enough, it might look like they're making progress, but they're not, because that's one of the hardest things to do. Make a diet that's difficult enough that somebody will see progress relatively quickly so they don't get frustrated, but not too difficult that one day they just break and start deep throating churros. So the question is, how do you formulate a diet that's going to be hard enough to get your results, but not to the point you're going to lose your shit? All right, first we need to change the way you look at dieting, because most coaches will say, all right, we're doing a 16-week recomposition plan because they're afraid to scare you away with the word diet, but it's a fucking diet. And 16, 12, or 10 weeks, that's a marathon. And the truth is, diets are better done as sprints. So reframe the way you think about it and take care of your current day and win the week. Because thinking anything beyond a week, 99% of people will be like, fuck it, take my foot now. And every week you need to install a light at the end of that dieting tunnel from hell by implementing a refeed meal. You'll be amazed at how much harder you can push yourself and how much more you're willing to suffer knowing that you have a scheduled time you're going to be able to relax and enjoy yourself every week. Which brings me to a fairly widespread misconception of how low you should push your calories. And I'm sure even saying that, a number popped in your head and you're like, not going below that or I'll lose muscle. But when people think or say that out loud, they rarely factor in where their calories are coming from. Here's an extreme scenario for you, and I'll use clean numbers because I went to public school. So person number one is on a 2,000 calorie diet, which puts them in a decent deficit, and 35% of their calories is coming from protein. So they're getting 175 grams per day. Now, person number two is going to get less calories than they recommend giving a 12-year-old girl. Now, I don't recommend this. This is just to prove a point, but they're going to get 1,000 calories, and 80% of those is coming from protein. So they're going to get 200 grams of protein per day. So the question is, who would you bet your wife on? The one that has less protein and more calories coming from what I would consider energy sources, or the one that's basically all protein? I would hope for your wife's butthole's sake, you bet on the 80% protein. And again, I'm not advocating you get anywhere near that 80% because your kidneys would not appreciate that, but hopefully that opens your eyes and makes you realize that maybe I can push myself a little bit harder or drop my calories a little bit more and see what happens. And don't take my word for it. You're the one that's willing to bet buttholes on it. Now, the only way these weekly diet sprints work is after you reach the weight or the look you want, you got to come up with a maintenance diet you actually enjoy. And I think that's why crash diets get such a bad rap, is because nobody teaches you how to get off of them. Probably why so many of those medical weight loss clinic clients completely rebound, which I don't blame them. Imagine going from having somebody just grab your love handles and threaten you every week to no accountability whatsoever. I'd be at the McDonald's drive-thru line pleading with the guy at the window, just be my accountability buddy. I need help. As simple as it sounds, to maintain the look you've got that you push so hard to get, all you gotta do is find your new maintenance level of calories based on your new body weight and eat slightly below that, because you still want to factor in having that refeed meal once a week. And I think this is where people make the biggest mistake. They stop having that refeed meal once a week and they try to add something in every single day. I hate to break it to you, but your metabolism didn't magically change and now it runs better off of sausage McGriddles. It's okay. I lie to myself too sometimes. So it's hard to give a general, just go do this, because I have no idea where everybody's at in their life. You could be at a really low place. You could be sitting at home watching this, eating a pound of gummy worms. But in my experience, most people have one or a mixture of these three problems. Either they don't eat enough protein, they're eating too many calories, or they justify having too many carbs. So after this video, put down the gummy worms, take a look in the mirror, and figure your shit out. So if you end up making some changes to push your diet even harder and you find pretty damn hungry, that's okay. That's your body telling you that this sucks and it's working. So if you haven't got a chance to check out the program, I'll leave a link to that below because it's one of my favorite things. Wake up in the morning and check the feed and see all the people that are complaining about how bad they hurt. And because it's from me, it makes me smile. So if you haven't watched these two videos, you're going to want to watch those next. But most importantly, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.